All right, shalom, shalom, family, shalom, shalom, Shabbat, shalom, Shabbat, shalom. Welcome back, welcome back. So, as you all can tell by the title today, we will be getting to, open mic question and answer. So, if anybody would like to come up, participate today, anybody in the comment section have any questions, I will try my best to answer them. This video will be as long as everybody makes it. Depending on the questions and things like that, I will drop the link in the bio for anyone who wants to come up, join the stage and participate, add commentary, ask questions on for everyone else to hear, etc. So, for example, if you have any questions concerning the recent video I released this morning, videos I've done in the past, questions on DNA, Israelite history, migrations or traditions, customs, anything, now it's a good time to go ahead and propose those questions or pose those questions, and I will answer them. All right. But again, the link is in the bio or in the chat section for anybody that wants to join. And again, this will be as long as you all make it. So we could be on here for 10 minutes or, an hour. Hope everyone enjoyed their Shabbat day today. All right. I'm going to play a video in the meanwhile until some questions, anything come up. If not, we're going to get ready, and wrap it up and all that. But again, link is in the bio for anyone who wants to come up and join. The brother asked, does Shabbat end at this time? Me personally, I deal with sundown to sundown. So whenever the sun is going down, wherever you are specifically, then the Shabbat day will be ended. Or the day will be over, basically. Same for a lot of West African tribes as well. Sundown to sundown. Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. It's 6:03 where I'm at, and the sun is still out. Usually around this time a couple months ago or something like that, the sun would be down right now. So, a few months back, the Shabbat would be over. But as of now, again, I personally go sundown to sundown. Shalom, shalom, brother. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, brother. And again, for everyone that's tuning in now, this is a Q&A for anyone that does have questions. We will continue to, bring out this information. I plan on doing something for the daughters of Zion, the daughters of Israel. All right. I don't see much videos or information pertaining the women of Israel, throughout history. So I will try my best to bring forth a lecture, or I guess you can say a presentation, dealing with the daughters of Zion, as well as getting the the documentary done or worked on over the few months or few weeks rather. The brother says, can we heat up food at 6? According to Torah, we're not allowed to use, fire. So me personally, I usually wait till it's over. But again, if you don't consider heating up food, microwaving, or if you don't consider microwaving actually being by use of fire, as it's outlined in the scripture, then I guess, in your terms, then you're good. But as far as me, I just wait till the Shabbat is over, or I get some, cold cut sandwiches, some cereal, granola bars, fruit, simple stuff like that. All right. So yeah, man. I was hoping we got some people up here today to, ask some questions. Even the haters out there, man, because I have a lot of hateful comments coming here recently, and it's just real interesting. So I was hoping to get some, people to come up on stage or ask questions, especially those people that be in the comment section. I guess you can say boasting or messing around. Yes, my brother. I do have a menorah. I do have a menorah. Um, I could share it if you want me to. Cut on my screen, share it real quick with you. Show you what mine specifically look like. 1 second. So this is an example of the menorah I have as of now. Traditional menorah. If that answers your question, my brother. Well, I guess it does. So yes, I do have a menorah. The brother second Exodus. The Sephardic Jewish court recognized Igbos as Israelites. Would it be beneficial for Hebrew Israelites to undergo a ceremonial cleansing with the Igbo? Um, I feel it's not necessary. It's not necessary, especially for those who are descendants of the Igbo, that we know for sure. But as far as you going to a ceremonial cleansing, I would recommend you asking an Igbo elder themselves. So um, I recommend you reaching out to Elder Remy or Elder Cletus, elders within Nigeria, or even Elder Remy. He's over here in the States, but they can assist you with that question better than I can. Or I can even ask for you and have an answer for you here soon. But even within that document that um, the Sephardic Jewish court did of the ruling on the Bet Din of the Igbos, they even acknowledged that they did not have to convert to, I guess you can say, rabbinical Judaism, because they were already converted to Christianity prior to them being enslaved, coming to America, and even prior to other events that happened within Nigeria. So I hope that answers your question, my brother. And the brother asked, how do we use the menorah? It's very complicated, if you want to be honest. It's different ways to use it. On Shabbat, a lot of people light their menorah in different ways, honestly, in different ways. But the main purpose of using the menorah, or the main purpose I use the menorah for, is on Passover, during the or Haggadah ceremony, um, for Passover. Just reading over the story and lighting the menorah in a certain fashion that's outlined within the Haggadah. If that answers your question, my brother. Let's see. All right, next question. Again, I'm about to put the link in the chat for anyone who wants to come up and join. Link in the chat for anyone who wants to come up and join. The brother asked, can you ask Remy Ilona for us who want to undergo a ceremonial cleansing? Yes. And even something that's very interesting. The Igbos actually come back to America. It's the chief Neri or Ezi. They come back to Virginia, I believe, like once a year. They go back to Igbo landing, and it's like a ceremony. A lot of African Americans go back to Virginia. Or go back to Virginia during this time and connect with the Igbos and everything that came over from West Africa to Virginia. So it's like a whole little festival, I guess you can say. I gotta actually find some more information on that, when that festival is, but it's real interesting. But I will ask him for you. Or I'll just ask him, is there a ceremonial cleansing for diasporic descendants, period. I know a lot of people that return to Nigeria, to these certain tribes, such as the Igbo, the Yoruba. They put on ceremonies, right? They give them new names. They clothe them, they bathe them, they feed them, all types of things. So you can look at that as a sort of cleansing or ceremonial recognition once when African Americans return to those locations. So hopefully that answers your question. All right. All right. Next question is, do you have any research on Israelites within Namibia? No, I don't. That's real interesting. I wonder what tribes are in Namibia. I'm pretty sure there's Bantu tribes, but no, I don't. That's a good question. Maybe that's something to look into. That's definitely something to look into. And yeah, Namibia is in South Africa. Okay. So I'm trying to see what tribes constitute. Okay, so the Amvumbu. So I have information on the Avumbu. I don't have information on the Kavongo. I know of the Hirio. All right, so it's a few tribes in there that I've spoken on before. Not specifically the Namibia area, but tribes that live in Namibia that I've spoken on. Specifically those Bantu tribes. All right. Again, pose your questions. Pose your questions. Anyone have any questions? Go ahead and drop them. Appreciate those who are participating, asking questions, interacting. Chill out for a few more minutes. If we don't have any more questions coming in, or anyone join, I will get ready and wrap it up. And of course, I will see you all next Shabbat with a powerful, powerful lesson as usual. All right. Okay. See something real quick. All right. So again, I'm gonna play a quick video, and while the video is playing, I'm gonna give you all time to drop any questions if there are any. Again, today it's not a lesson. I just wanted to come on, do a quick Q&A, open mic for anyone that wanted to come up to the stage. So again, I'm about to play this quick video, and I'm gonna give you all a chance to answer these or ask your questions. All right. But before that, I will answer this quick question. Is EM85 an Israelite haplogroup? No. I do not believe so. I do not believe so personally. I know it is for sure a Semitic haplogroup, but as far as it being an Israelite haplogroup, I don't believe so. It is possible for it to be in Israelite populations today, but I do know a lot of Arabic and even some Berber Bedouin tribes do have EM85, and we know those tribes do not claim to be Israel. All right. We got a brother came up to the stage, the brother Second Exodus. Shalom, my brother.
Shalom, grace and peace.
Grace and peace, my brother. You having a good Shabbat today?
It was pretty good. I went to the Israel of God under Brother Bowie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has a camp here in Memphis.
Oh, that's where you are, Memphis?
Yeah, that's where I'm at for now until I go back to Chicago.
Okay, that sounds good. The brother Isaiah Henderson, you may need to jump back out and come back in one more time. It's saying device not connected, so come back in one more time. I'm gonna kick you from the studio, but come back in. All right, so what's going on, my brother Second Exodus? You got any questions, anything, like to add anything?
I just want to first say I appreciate what you've been doing. My sister actually goes to your school, I think.
Oh, really? That's cool. That's cool.
yeah. But I appreciate just seeing people my people that are younger than me, just teaching this truth out here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's because we know it's going to be us eventually, the younger generation that come up and start teaching as well. So we have to be on point definitely with the information, so we don't end up, misleading the people like, the camps eventually did throughout the centuries. And shalom, brother Isaiah.
Shalom, what's going on?
Shalom, brother. You enjoying your Shabbat day?
Yeah, man. All praises to the Father.
All praises, all praises. Did you want to add anything?
The lesson you did today, I kind of liked it, and I was quite disappointed because in the articles they were saying that those white Jews didn't accept our people as Jews, but they know who we are.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. That was my main point of bringing it out because it showed, multiple aspects of these, quote unquote black Jews. It showed you, what the black Jews thought of themselves, and it also showed you what the white Jews thought of these black Jews. And a lot of the times we see that they didn't believe they were Jews because, because they was black. That's simply it, because they're black. That's the main problem that a lot of these European Jews have with Jews of color: pigmentation. Shalom, brother. So yeah, man, I'm glad you enjoyed that video. Of course, we're going to continue to bring out, early Israelite history in America. I'm gonna try my best to get some more information on the traditions and customs of our ancestors throughout slavery to try to make that connection, hit home more, as we see it outlined in the scripture. So I appreciate that. All right.
And another thing I've been saying all along, we need to connect with our brothers and sisters in the African diaspora.
Yes, yes, yes. We definitely do. We definitely do. We got to get the two sticks together. You know what I'm saying? Um, Once we get together, we can do big things. As a group, African Americans, as a whole. Our wealth mind, are pretty smart. All the things we've gained over here. As far as our um ability to build, ability to lead, and things like that. If we pair that with the people or our tribesmen or our family that we've been disconnected from within Africa, we can really turn the whole West African continent upside down. Because even when it comes to a lot of those Israelite tribes within West Africa, a lot of them are not looking to just walk right back up and move right to Israel. They like where they are. You know what I'm saying? So that's true. That's true. All right.
Hey, brother, can I ask you another question?
Indeed.
What is your take on a lot of people having this theory that Israel is in America, or we're living in Israel right now?
So to explain that, it's pretty obvious to me. The only reason they're doing that is to suffice their Native American theory of Native American being Israelites. It's a lot of falsified or false archaeological records or things that they try to make it seem like ancient Hebrews were here. It doesn't match the ancient artifacts that we see in Israel. We don't have history of Israelites migrating to America. But as far as Israel being over here in America, I do not believe that at all. There's no archaeological records. It's a lot of questions that have to be answered if Israel is America. Where are the land of the Moabites? Where are the land of the Edomites? Where are the land of the Ishmaelites? Where is the land of the sons of Ham? Where are the lands of the sons of Shem? And even when you're trying to play out the scripture uh, throughout the lens of it being in America, it would not fit. Where did the conquest of Canaan happen? Where did the 10 tribes get exiled to? Where is Assyria? Where is Babylon? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that whole theory is just to try to cling or make the Native American being Israelites be more proof, or I guess you could say more true. All right, because they literally have maps and everything um, that they've made and doctored to try to prove or support their opinion. If that answers your question, my brother.
Yeah, that was a that was a good question, Isaiah. Um, and kind of speaking on that, what he brought up earlier about the Africans and us over here coming together. Uh, I kind of appreciate what Remy Remy Alona is doing, telling us about the history of the Igbo and have their connections to ancient Israel, and also the Obadiah Alliance that they're telling us that the Igbos are direct descendants of the Israelites, and there's no need for them to convert.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is though is about the is about what the Sephardic Jewish court said. They said that uh, the Igbos, those who are descendant of the Igbos, who were forced to convert to Christianity and who hadn't been keeping the law of the land, or Ominana, said that if they returned to Ominana, they should be circumcised. If they hadn't, say
Mm-hmm.
the say the Shehe Hayanu afterwards and partake in the Kolonet ceremony in order to, according to the, the Levitical priests that are in the Igbo community. So my question is, would it be better, you know, from a almost in a sense, in a political sense, would it be better in a legal sense for us to, kind of follow the guidelines that the Sephardic Jewish court outlined? And, it's not saying that you have to deny Christ or deny the Prophet Muhammad or, whatever you grew up in, whatever faith or culture you had. They just want you to kind of respect the culture of the Igbo in order to be recognized as lawfully or halakhically Jewish. So, what's your take on that?
My take on that is they did the right thing. They did the right thing because it's real funny because if for the people that's been following my channel, we've been building up on the Igbos. We've been seeing a lot of things regarding them, and in the early years or in the early few months of me, getting into this, I was making posts showing how a lot of these rabbis were coming to Igbo land and they was trying to convert them, to the Ashkenazic Judaism. All right, so with that, a lot of the times those rabbis they were not Sephardic Jews; they were Ashkenazi Jews. So the fact that the Sephardic Jews actually stepped in and say, "Hold up, wait a minute, we're going to review their history, we're going to review their traditions, we're going to review their customs, and we're also going to look at their DNA." All right, and all of them played out, all of them matched. That's real. I guess you can say I was surprised because I didn't expect it to come from the Sephardic Jews. Not only that, it was approved by the Bet Din. So we know that this is legit. We know this is something that we can in the diaspora can take advantage of as well. And I think we should take advantage of it because, like they said, we do not have to convert. All right. We were already converted, not just the Igbo, but all of the tribes that were taken into the, transatlantic slave trade. So even that, that whole document that they released, it opened up the door for all the West African Jews. You get what I'm saying? Because they all share the same traditions and customs of the Igbos. I'm not saying every tribe does. So I'm saying many. They share the same exact genetics, and they were brought to the Americas as well. So I do agree with that on paper, and I do believe that African Americans should follow out there after it if it's so pleased they are. So I hope that answers your question, brother.
Yeah, it does answer my question. I do have one more question on that. Um, I know that all Igbos don't believe that, or do not accept that they're Israelites. Um, so it was one of those things. It's like you want to go out there, take part of the ceremony, right? To be ceremonial cleansed, but you don't want to, undergo a ceremonial cleansing with an Igbo who doesn't accept their Israelite heritage. So, you know, kind of like what you were mentioning earlier about Igbos coming to Virginia, but they might be Igbos that are not believing that they're Israelites. So, what would and I know you mentioned Remy, but I don't know what his what his take would be on that. So, uh, and going to Nigeria is pretty far out. to
Facts, facts, facts.
Yeah. So, what would your suggestion be to get in touch with the right? uh, the right group of Igbo people who would be, recognized by the Sephardic Jewish court.
I would recommend you reaching out to Obadiah Allowance. There's also something called Omenana Defenders by way of Elder Remy as well. And the fact that you mentioned, like you said, Nigeria really is far. You get what I'm saying? We all don't have money to catch flights. I know I don't right now, especially not to Nigeria. So um, I think it comes to like people like me and you, other African Americans, actually sitting down or over Zoom speaking with these Igbo elders to try to make something to where when they do visit the Americas, we can have ceremonies within the Americas. But to answer your question about hooking up with the people that do believe that there are or do know that they are Israelites, from what I see, a lot of these elders of the community, a lot of the Ezis and the kings, they know who they are. It's the people, it's the regular people like me and you. It's their descendants that live in, I guess you can say, the cities. It's the younger or it's the youth that really don't agree that they're Israelites. Not really so much of the elders or the Ezis or the Neris. Um, so hopefully that answers your question. If not, I can go in more.
Yeah, that answers my question. I'll have to look up the is it Ominana Defenders, right?
Yes, 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 and that's by way of Elder Remy as well, and of course I know a few Igbo elders as well that I can. If you have Facebook, anything that I can give you the information and you can reach out to them, they always reach back out. They're free to talk. So if you like that option, I can give you that information as well.
Yeah, yeah, we'll like that option. I'm not on Facebook, but yeah, I can reach out to you with my email address.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. Just shoot me an email. You know my email, correct?
No, I don't.
Well, I'll throw it in the chat real quick for you, just so you can copy and paste it or something real quick.
All right, cool.
All right, brother Isaiah. You got anything you want to add?
Yeah, I want to say thank you for bringing that point out because you have even some black people that don't agree that they are Israelites.
Exactly, exactly. I just was having to talk to a Yoruba brother the other day because he was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. You can't make a, you can't say that these white Israelites are us, things like that. We never came from the Middle East. We was in West Africa our whole life. Blah blah blah, things like this. I'm like, brother, it's deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? You need to talk to your elders because you obviously do not know your history, your traditions because even your oral traditions tell of a migration from the Near East, not you always being stagnant in Nigeria. So it's on both sides. It's in the African community and the diaspora.
Yeah, and the scripture says that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Mm.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. And we can see that manifested. And this brother just brought up a good point, man. The brother Neri Yahoo, Afro Israelites should start the Zephaniah allowance. All right, I think that would be really good. We need some prominent people to join this, man. That'll be good. That'll be good, especially when you look at the context of Zephaniah allowance. Those scattered beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. And later scattered beyond the rivers or the ocean or the Ethiopian Ocean or to the diaspora rather. So I do agree with that. That's definitely a good idea.
And I also believe that there are some Israelites in Rwanda.
Rwanda? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are.
Yeah, the Tutsis and the Hutus.
Yes, there are. There is history regarding those people having Israelite ancestry. It is. A lot of people think they aren't related to each other because they had that whole little war, against each other, but they literally have the same genetics.
Yeah, and the bad part about it is you even got China is trying to take over Africa.
Who?
China.
Oh wow, they need to handle that. What the Camp brothers call them? We need to get Moab out of there, right?
Yeah, Moabites.
Brother, second Exodus. What was you saying, brother?
And who knows? Esau is fighting with Russia.
Exactly. Ain't that what they tell us?
Yeah.
And there's a book I want you all to check out. It's a little controversial, but it's an Aramaic Old Testament book, and it tells you that China is Magog.
It
So
says that China is Magog.
yeah, it's let me see if I can. I
That's
don't
a
think I don't think I have it on me. Let me see if I got it. Yeah, it's in Genesis 10. Actually, I do got it. I'm trying to find out this the guy who wrote this Aramaic Bible, what his name is.
mhm.
His name is I'm pulling it up now.
Yeah, I definitely would say a lot of the Chinese people would be, Japhet for sure.
Yeah, it's his name is George Lamsa, Lamsa, and if you go to his Aramaic Bible, uh, Genesis 10, it will tell you that he replaced Magog with Mongolia and Kedem with China.
Mm, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's definitely interesting.
Yeah,
Indeed.
It is.
I had to look it up because I was like, "What?" I thought Kedem was like Greece or something like that. So I looked it up, and apparently Sephardic Jews and Marco Polo were the ones who said China was uh, or Mongolia was Magog,
Mm,
and the Russians call the Chinese Magog also.
interesting. Interesting. Interesting indeed. It's real. It's real. It's kind of hard pinpointing those sons of Japhet, but that sounds like some good information there. Definitely.
I forgot that what's his name is the Answers in Genesis. Jensen. I think it's Jensen. Anyway, he did this.
You talking about the doctor?
Yeah, doctor.
Oh
He
yeah, Nathan. Yeah, I know you're talking.
yeah he did a genetics thing where you had haplogroup A, B, then you had haplogroup D and E that was together, right? But you had C, T, and F that was together. C, T, and F became I, J, K, L, M, N, O, R, all
Right.
those different
Right.
haplogroups. That a lot of your East Asians, Native Americans, and white people come from C, T, and F.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
if if the if I, J, and K, I represents German people, J represents Turkish people. Uh, one of those branches that come off of I, J, and K is OPNM, which
Right.
represents Native Americans
Exactly.
and East Asians. So it kind of not all East Asians because there's some Japanese that got haplogroup D.
Right. The Andaman Islands, the Anu. Yeah, definitely.
Right. That's why I don't look at skin color. That's like, oh, okay, they had haplogroup D, so they must have been submitted. They must have come from something.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
there might be something to East Asians being Magog or something, the kings of the East.
It definitely can be something there. Did you want to say something, brother Isaiah?
Yeah, I want to say thank you for bringing that up because that just goes to prove to you that the Native Americans are not the sons of Jacob.
No, no, no. They, nah. They literally are related to Western Europeans, bro.
Right. And who came up with this idea of saying that they are the tribe of Gad? That's a lie.
Yeah, yeah. It is. It definitely is. Like at this point, we got enough information to even if brothers don't want to deal with genetics. You know what I'm saying? You still can look at the Native American oral traditions and anything else. You can even find material culture of Native Americans with people within Asia and East Asia, linguistic connections as well. Because a lot of people like to say Native Americans speak Hebrew, but at the same time, why can I find linguistic connections between Native American tribes and East Asian tribes? Like they literally
Right.
speak the same language.
And another thing they'll say is, well, Native Americans, they are descendants of Israel because they found Hebrew customs. I'm like, what?
And that's what I'm saying. And if you go into the information, especially around that time, you know, around that time when all those books was coming out about the Native Americans, it was basically going off a theory, that these people were Israelites, and people coming over here trying to substantiate that they were Israelites, and trying to just make the claim better,
Exactly.
although it wasn't true. And one of the books they like to use is I think it's called European Concepts of Native Americans.
Yes.
And within that book, they always go to the source. They say, the Native Amer or the Israelites came to America, but they never show you all the other pages in that book that give you other theories and legends of where the Native Americans came from, like Russia or Asia or Europe. So you know what I'm saying? So that's just a theory of Native Americans being Israelites, not a fact.
And also, they always made another lie claiming that the 10 tribes came to America, and they use it. They use verses like Second Ezra. I forgot the chapter, but they use those kind of verses to prove that.
Yeah, bro. And I wish somebody would try to use Second Ezra on me. Try to use Second Ezra chapter 13 on me, and I'm gonna break the whole scripture down for you. All right, because one thing they do is start at a certain scripture and end at a certain scripture. They don't start at verse 1 and read down all the way up to verse 48, because if you did, you will understand that Ezra is having a vision that the 10 tribes will be returning back to the land. That's why the Most High said that they would be found within my borders. That's why when we go to First Chronicles, we see that the Northern Kingdom is back in the land keeping Passover after the Assyrian exile. So how did they come to America?
And they
So
always use a word. I forgot how to pronounce the word, but this is a place that they claim that they came.
As
Yeah.
they don't know that Azaret was actually found in North Africa, so there's that.
I saw that map as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
Shalom, brother Neriyahu. Shalom, brother. Shalom, brother.
Well, shalom.
What's going on, brother? What's going on, brother?
All is well. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, King.
Yeah. I got a couple questions.
What's up, brother? Hit me.
Yeah, I want to ask. Okay, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Blinch's work in regards to the nigger Congo, in the proto-nigger Congo and the Bantu languages. I just want to know, I want to get your opinion on what haplogroups you think originated the mandate and the nigger Congo languages.
I think it's actually the E groups. I think it's actually the E groups. I don't believe.
Because
Or go ahead.
go ahead.
You go ahead.
Because I know Blitz give proto nigger Congo up to like 10,000 YBP.
Mm-hmm.
So that would predate Israel. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So here's the reason why I'm asking, because
I'm gonna ask you a quick question that you can keep going. So are you saying it existed during the time of Semitic prior to the are you saying it existed prior to the Bantu expansions?
well, we know, I'm not sure if you know, but I know Blinch's work is kind of outdated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my issue with Blinch's work. It's kind of outdated, but there's been there's been a few updates in 2016. I can't recall the paper, but I could probably share it with you later. I don't have it on me, but
Yeah.
I know it was some updates in like 2016, and there was also a academic call for other linguists to solve the issue of the Proto-Nigger Congo languages. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I 100% agree with Butch's work because, you know, I've looked into it. And of course, you know, me having Mande ancestry, understand, like, you know what I'm saying? Like some Bantu, Proto-Bantu, and Nigger Congo groups, we know predate Israel. But what
Right.
I've been seeing, with the what is it? What I've been seeing lately is the Capsian and Ibero-Mauritian and Tafara ancestry amongst those groups, and I'm thinking like maybe it could have came from those, and then later migrations of E1B1A
Mhm.
people with that ancestry could have came later. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I know you did a recent presentation on the are the African Americans Moors,
Right.
and I believe in that presentation you presented the percentage of I believe it was Tafara ancestry among the Mende, and I do understand like the Mandinka carry like EV12, EV22, and those downstream lineages from EM78. So I don't know. I'm just trying to
And that's kind of where
trying
I
to
thought. That's kind of why I
go
was
ahead.
thinking that PPNB ancestry was coming from as well. Maybe it was coming from that either EP2 or the E1B1B amongst them.
The E1B1B amongst the
The
West
money,
Africans, right?
yeah, the
Okay.
money, the money
Right,
specifically.
right, right. I mean, I would love for people. Yeah, yeah. My bad. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. We all know that scientists are very biased when it comes to E1B1A lineages, and they try to push us back so far. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead, brother. My bad.
No, you good. You good. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to make mention to the fact that if we know that EP2 was the Proto-Afro-Asiatic speakers,
Mm-hmm.
could it be that Niger Congo is a branch of Afro-Asiatic that they could not, or that they have not identified with the language, or
I mean, it's quite
with that?
possible.
You know what I'm saying?
It's quite possible. I know there's a paper that points out Nigger Congo deriving from Libyan Berber languages.
Right. I believe that's the Semitic languages of
Yes,
comparative
yes,
grammar,
yes.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's it.
Yes. 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 So that's real interesting.
And there you go.
Uh-huh.
I want to add to what you were saying because, like, I don't think people like consider that Abraham wasn't the only one with E1B1.
Of course.
So I guess we can't like. I guess it's. I mean, what do you guys think about this? Like, if we see a lot of E1B1 in the Mende and the Yoruba, that doesn't mean that they're Israel, though.
Mm,
You know what I
correct.
mean?
Yes.
They
Yes.
Correct.
could be.
We know that there was initial Bantu expansion migrations prior to the I guess you can say what 100 or 1,000 BC,
Right,
right?
right.
1,000. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
Roughly
I
around
believe
that
there was
time. Yeah.
right, and then I believe there was another quote unquote Bantu. I really call it Semitic migrations or Semitic invasions, but there was another quote unquote Bantu expansion around the time of the Assyrian exile, right? So
Right.
That's what I believe that group of Israelites would have been coming in around that second migration of the Bantus, but the first Bantus would have been like other Semitic tribes.
They just
Right. So
oh, go ahead, Neria.
you know, I mean, I know you're aware of what is it? There's a mention that the Bafour, right? If they descend from those Judites from Egypt, right? When they came in and settled amongst the Berbers, they taught them, like Iron Age metallurgy.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like, okay, those E1B lineages from the Ibero-Maurutians, obviously, either wasn't interested or couldn't obviously reach further south into sub-Saharan Africa until those Iron Age Israelites came and taught them that metallurgy. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Because
it's like
yes,
some of those lineages could have been sitting up there. Some of
right,
those lineages could have been sitting up there until Iron Age Israelites, brought forth their metallurgy.
right. Because they went all the way into Western Mauritania, right, and the Berbers were already there, right.
Right.
Right. Yes. So, and you mentioned as well, they taught them how to build smelt iron, I believe. They also taught them
Yeah.
like irrigation methods, how to build wells. So that's fact.
Yeah. And another question. Yeah, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody in the chat, but in regards to, okay, I believe it's EM33. That's E1A, right?
EM33. Yes. I don't yes.
Okay.
I'm finna go to
Okay, so
IFBB.org real quick just to confirm, but I
okay.
believe so. Yes.
I believe it descends
Yes,
from
it is. Yeah.
EM96. It descends from EM96, right?
So it's E1A. It descends from
E1A.
so it descends from P147.
EM96 from. Hello?
What'd you say, brother?
Yeah, my bad. I had a call coming in. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
you good. Yes, I can hear you.
Oh. All right, so how far does EM96 from EM33? I'm not sure if that's a downstream lineage from EM96 or what. I can't remember.
I'll share my screen real quick. 'Cause I'm looking for it, but I'll share my screen while I'm looking for it real quick. So it is EM33. So which is E1A. So where's 96? EM96. It's not E1B1A or E1B1B. I know that.
Oh, right.
Let me see if I can Google it real quick. I,
Okay.
I feel like it's a mutation before.
E1B1, right?
Yeah, EM96 is haplogroup E. Its ancestor is DE. So yeah, I believe it's basal E. 96 is basal E. Did you hear me, brother? So right here we have it. EM96 basically is, yeah, haplogroup E, and then it starts to stream down into P149 and M75. Did you get that, brother? Brother Neary. All right, all right. I think you having some technical difficulties right now. Does anybody else want to jump in and add anything right quick so we get situated?
Yeah, I just wanted to, because you was talking about E1A.
Say that again.
Yeah, he was talking about E1A, and I was thinking that if D and E is submitted, right, then that means that E is going to have to come from probably, one of those, one of the ancestors before Terra. So it could have been like, Peleg or Arphaxad or something, right?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard with doing it like that. It depends on um if
Well,
you go ahead.
yeah, yeah. The reason why I was saying that is because, so my logic is that, the curses and blessings of Deuteronomy 28, supersedes DNA to me, right?
Hmm.
But but you could still, kind of use the process of elimination to say, okay, which group of people have this in common, right? So, what do Afro Brazilians, what is the paternal haplogroup of, you know, people who descended from, the slave trades in Brazil or Mexico or the Americas or or in East Africa or West Africa or India, right? And you take their
Right.
DNA and it's mostly E1B1 or E1B1A. So, through the process of elimination, I can say, well, E1A, although it might be found in small amounts, it may not be like one of the founder, if that makes sense. It might not be one of the founding Israelite lineages, because
Right.
if it was, then we would find E1A in Brazil. We would find E1 in the majority of the numbers. Same thing with um, even same thing with Ashkenazi Jews. You know, you see that they have IJKR and E1B1B in their haplogroups, but you hardly see any E1B1A because
It's like 4%, I believe it is.
yeah. So
Not much, but about four.
it's not much, but it's almost like it makes sense because if a people are being targeted
Hmm.
and if they're getting enslaved and kicked out and persecuted, then it makes sense that you're going to find a small amount, like a small presence, but you're not going to find a whole lot.
Yeah, especially regarding that history of conversions and assimilation, especially in Europe. It would have been easily for that lineage to dilute out, like he was mentioning.
Right. So I was looking at, just like he was saying about E1A. And that's what I was saying about Abraham not being the only one with E1B1 at least, because, you got Lot, you got Esau, you got Jacob, you got Ishmael. They should all have E1B1. So, anybody else that, and this is just like, just using process of elimination saying that, hey, haplogroup J is not fulfilling the curses of Deuteronomy 28, but this group
Right.
over here, this haplogroup is kind of fulfilling that. It's kind of like the common denominator.
And we don't see haplogroup J beyond the rivers of Ethiopia.
Yeah, we don't see that. We don't see K beyond the rivers. We don't see ONMP. We don't see none of those groups beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. We we just see E1B1A, not only beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, but we also see historically in Africa and outside of Africa E1B1A being a minority or having some connection to slavery, like whether it's the Arab slave trade or the indigenous African slave trade or the slave trade, transatlantic slave trade. It's always some type of slave trade that's associated with E1B1A.
Yes, and that's the thing that I've noticed. Even in papers, they're starting to papers I've
Yes.
read, like they're starting to basically say, like, when we are finding this DNA in this area, there's no need to invoke a slave trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was reading a paper on E3A in Yemen and Oman and things like that in Arabia, and it was like there's no need to associate this haplogroup with a slave trade. You know what I'm saying? And even when I was reading a paper on EM2 in Egypt, they said there's no need to invoke a slave trade as well. So, a lot of times this DNA wasn't even there because of slavery, but they'll say it is. And even once you look at the Arabic slave trade or the Arab slave trade, they castrated a lot of the men. You see what I'm saying? So how would they reproduce?
And if they can reproduce, you're going to find a lot of E1B1A in those areas.
Right.
Oh, brother Will.
Shalom, brother.
What haplogroup do you think Sarah will have if she existed?
That's a hard question, brother. Let me think. Well, I will honestly say that I have no clue. I have no clue. I can guess. I can give you a few guesses based off the DNAs we see the Israelite or the Semitic peoples having in the Levant, based off, the ancient remains and the articles we see. I would say that she more than likely would have had one of those haplogroups, like that are paired with the E1B1As and E1B1Bs, like a K or something like that. Maybe a M, possibly a L3, L2. We know L2, L3 was in the Middle East, but we have to acknowledge, when we're looking at these remains of these Israelites, I keep saying Israelites, when we're looking at these remains of these, ancient cities and we see E lineages, majority of the time they are not with L. So like I said, I believe it can be a L lineage or like a K or M.
Hey, Isaiah, I, I actually thought about that question about Sarah, not just Sarah, but the four women, the four matriarchs of Israel too, Leah, Rachel, and Zilpah and Bilhah. If I
I think they could be from L2.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would say L3E only because L3E was recognized as originating in the Middle East. So L1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is said to originate only in Africa. But L3E was said to be first originated in the Middle East, in the Levant, and from L3E, it split into two groups. One L3E went down back into Africa, and the other L3E became LM and all these other maternal haplogroups like H and stuff.
And to make mention to what he just said about the other L3s going back into Africa, we could, definitely say they was coming back into Africa doing, the Bantu expansion and things like that. They was coming in with those E lineages. Also, there are papers with L2 and L3 in Jewish remains. So I'm gonna just say that for now. Until
I
I do it.
actually test,
Go ahead.
I actually tested for L3.
Right. Right. A lot of African Americans, that's our mothers. That's our mother. Um L3 is basically like, I guess you can say, the counterpart of haplogroup E. You know what I'm saying? It's the counterpart. The
Yeah.
Beta Israel have L. A little bit of Ashkenazi have El. The Yemenite Jews, I believe, they have El as well. I believe, and of course, the West African Jews have El. So,
There's just to add to that, um, you all know the president of the sit-in chair of the Obadiah Alliance. He did his doctoral thesis on the Anazim, or the forced converts, in Bani, Dominican Republic. One of the major haplogroups he found down there was L3E2B.
mm,
And they know for sure that those are Sephardic Jewish descendants.
right. I viewed that family tree DNA website for that specific project, the Jamaican Jewish project, and they also had a lot of EM2s in there as well. Not the Jamaican, but the Dominican Jewish project. So
Right. That's what he used. He used family tree for his testing of the Bani community down in the Dominican Republic.
yeah, so
So the main thing, though, that's what I wanted to bring up to Neriah before he hopped off, was it's almost like, what the Igbo said. The Igbo said that they're the only group in their area that practice circumcision, not just circumcision on the eighth day. So I think what we got to do is kind of look at both culture, prophecy, and the genetics, not
mhm.
necessarily just genetics, because we know that children of Israel were mixed in from the very beginning. You know, Abraham marrying the Hamite wife, two Hamite wives, you know, Hagar, the Egyptian, and Keturah, the Canaanite, and or the Hittite, because it's in her name, Keturah. So uh, that's something to think about, is the culture. Like, who else practices the culture? And that's something that the Igbo said, like, we're the only ones that kind of keep all the Old Testament. They got some pagan stuff mixed in too, but for the most part, just about their entire culture can
And
be found in the Old Testament.
that's one thing I don't like when our brothers do that, try to make it seem like they are the only, Israelites within their localities. I hear them say a lot, we are the only Jews in West Africa. All these other people claiming to be Jews that, they are not Jews, this and that. And I'm just like, why are you doing that? I just don't understand why they feel like they have to um down other people because, other because they're being written about or they're being talked about at the moment. So I feel like they need to, come together on the continent as well. The leaders of the Igbo community, the leaders of the other Jewish community, like the Airway and the God people, and even the Mandi people, and things like that. So,
And the Zulus.
right, and like even in Nigeria, the Yoruba are Israelites as well. They might not have every tradition to the T, because what people don't realize is the Igbos are the largest and the first diaspora of Jews. They are older than Beta Israel. They literally had a migration of Israelites into West Africa right after the Exodus, again during the Assyrian exile, again during the Babylonian exile, again after 70 AD, and then after the Sephardic Jews got expelled from the Songhai Empire, they went into Igbo land. So this is why they were able to retain so much, because they actually had multiple waves of Israelites coming into their specific homeland. All right.
But you see, Will, that's the point that I'm making, is that is that we kind of do the same thing that the brothers on the continent do.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I bring up, hey, let's look at the limba, Or let's look at the Igbo. I get a lot of brothers saying, why you want to go over there? We don't know nothing about their culture, or I don't need to do anything, you know. But, you know, if we're kind of see, that's not how they think over there on the continent. That Pan-African thought process that we have,
Yes.
that's unique to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they don't think like that. And who's to say they are going to think like that? So it's up to us to kind of just lead by example, and kind of like, that's how I'm like, here's my mindset. Like, what if some of me included, right? Because before you brought up Ominana defenders in the Igbo community in Virginia that shows up once a year, I was personally thinking, like, why not YouTube my experience of what being ceremonial cleansed looks like?
Right.
Because a lot of our people are going to think like, I'm not African. See, there's a lot of that still in the community too.
Agreed.
So, before we kind of bash the people on the continent about coming together, we got to first show that we're willing to humble ourselves and come together with them. That's kind of what I want to do. Actually, I want to actually film my experience and say, you know what, whoever wants to come with me, I like to get a group of us together. We can go, let's say Remy, for instance. If Remy is serious about bringing us together as his people, he already said that we're Igbos, right?
Yeah.
If he's serious about it, why not just go ahead and set up, kind of like what the brother said about the Zephaniah Alliance? That's actually a great idea. Show our people, like, it's nothing wrong with following the rules sometimes. The Sephardic Jewish court and the Igbos put in some legwork to be recognized as Israelites. The least we can do is show that, hey, the Sephardic Jewish court said, take the part of the Kolonet ceremony. That's something that shows respect to their culture. And then everybody sees that we still believe in Jesus Christ, or if you still believe in Muhammad or whatever, all you're doing is just respecting the Igbo culture. You're showing that you're willing to come together with your brothers from the continent, and maybe instead of having everybody calling themselves black, you actually making political moves, because now you're getting a whole identity. You no longer need to call yourself black. You can say, not only am I a genetic descendant of Igbos, I can also identify as Igbo on my census. Why am I going to call myself black when I can say Igbo American? Then the questions for reparations. Sorry, I'm talking a little bit long, but
Oh, you good, brother?
that's what I wanted to see. This whole thing is about reparations. I read it was a Moorish brother who was telling me that in order to get reparations, you need to have an identity. The reason why the Japanese and the Jews and now the Ukrainians, the reason why they can get reparations is because they have an identity which links them to a history, a past, and a culture, and more importantly, a land. Because Pastor Kelly does it all the time. He says, when I say the nationality, you say the country, Chinese, and they say China. And then he says black, and then everybody gets quiet. That's why you can't get reparations, because you don't have anything to tie yourself back to a land.
What do you think about what do you think about what California is doing right now?
I think as far as reparations, I think they're moving in a good direction, but is it lasting? Because what happened before, and they're going to history is going to repeat itself. They're still going by the identity as being black, And when you go by the identity of black, you're putting yourself in a caste system. So they're going to not honor the reparations even if they get it.
And this is one thing, real quick. This is one thing I did notice that they did acknowledge when I was watching a video of it. They did mention that there are other black people in America that are not descendants of slaves. So that is something that they will have to, you know, figure out and work around if this reparation legislation actually comes to pass within California. Because if it comes to pass in California, it's definitely gonna, fulfill its way to the rest of the country. But they did mention that there are um, I guess you can say, how would I say it? Ghanaian Americans, Nigerian Americans who are black but are not African Americans. So
That's right, because here's the connection. If you just say black, that could include, not to discount my other brothers in the diaspora or on the continent, but if you say black, that includes everybody, right? That's almost like an all lives matter kind of thing. But if you say descendants of Igbo slaves in America, then not only are you showing direct connection to history, but you're also pointing out that you come from a group of people, and you can actually have direct ties to the group of people in a land, in a country like Nigeria. They're fighting for their own country called Igbo land, right, by Afra. So
right,
that's a whole nother can of worms right there.
and that's possibly on his way to become a Jewish state.
Yeah, because I mean, how, like, in the prophecy it says, my worshipers, right, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my worshipers or my suppliants will bring me my offering, right?
Right.
So the question is, we got to be on the continent in order to come back and bring the offering. So
But a lot of our people don't want to do that.
Go
yeah,
ahead. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, you said a lot of our people don't want to do it, and that's true. You're right. That's why I'm saying that. But sometimes it takes us to kind of just lead by example.
But do you
We
know what that come from though? Why people don't want to go back?
From the white man's theory about Africans.
No, I'm talking about within the Israelite community, not the overall African American community, because that's true of African Americans. That's not in the truth. But what about in the Israelite community? Because it's a lot of Israelites that do not want to go to Africa.
it's two. I think there's like two main reasons I get is that some of them claim uh, indigenous to this land. They'll
Right.
they'll make up anything. They'll say that they'll join the Mormons just to say that Native Americans are Hebrews so they can stay here and push their narrative.
Right.
Or they'll say that, those Hamites sold us or something
Right.
like that. So those are the two biggest things to me.
But they fail to mention it was actually Arabs that were selling our people way before the white man even came to Africa.
Right. And I think I might even do a study or a lecture on the slave trade, because a lot of people don't understand it. They don't, and it'll hurt their feelings when they find out the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth will hurt. Why you think all those West Africans, are apologizing that the camp people call Africans, but they are us. You know what I'm saying? But
Right. That's sickening.
right, and exactly. And speaking of the camps, well, a main reason a lot of people do not want to go back to Africa is because the religious doctrine of the camps. They are telling these people that we will be redeemed by UFOs. We're gonna be beamed up into the sky on chariots. The Most High is gonna bring chariots and carry us back to Africa or Israel.
Right.
Things like so. The doctrine of these camps influences a lot of these people within the community. You know what I'm saying?
And one thing that the camps they reference to the Arabs telling our people, they said that Mecca was one of the biggest slave ports.
Yeah, it was Mecca and Zanzibar. Zanzibar literally means black market.
Right,
And
Zanzibar,
that's and,
right?
and
For
that's
the
what and
times.
that's what okay. And that's what the idea of our own people bow down to that cobblestone, which is an idol.
Then the Most High say you shall bow down to wood and stone.
Right. Look at the Malcolm X movie.
Well, I'm about to answer this question real quick, and you all can answer or chime in if you all would like. Joseph Milligan says so. We need to link up with the Jewish people in order to establish an identity. Have you forgotten what got us scattered in the first place? I don't believe we have to link up with the Jewish people. First, we have to get everything established here in America. We don't even have our own households, in order, or our own communities. Us as a black community were not on one accord. So before we even try to link up with Jewish people, we should try to get things fixed in our own community. But as far as us needing them to establish an identity, we use them, or black Jews use quote unquote European Jews today to shine light on the fact that there are black Jews. You get what I'm saying? Also for aid, also for Aliyah, so they can return to their homeland. So there's many good things, I guess you can say, that comes from aligning yourself with Jewish people. You know what I'm saying? We have to get over the skin drop doctrine thing. We have to get over skin color. We have to get over the fact that these people have inherited a lie from their forefathers. They don't know that they're not really Jews. A lot of these people do not know that they're not really Jews. They literally believe that they're Jews because it's what they've been told. So I don't believe we have to establish ourselves with those people to have an identity, but I don't think it'll hurt us. Um, what are you all's thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with you, Will, and to add to Joseph, I would say I don't think I think it's okay to link up with Jewish people, but I think it's more important to link up with our brothers, whether it be the Limba, whether it
The
be the
Zulu.
Igbo, the Zulu. See, here's the thing, though. I think God works in mysterious ways, right? And so, why did God choose the Limba and the Igbo and the Beta Israel to be recognized as Israelites first? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's almost like I personally believe a lot of our brothers and sisters are scattered among Semitic African tribes, like because they were persecuted so much together that they either formed their own tribes or just mixed with other Semitic and Hamitic tribes on Africa, becoming many nations, right?
Right.
So, the Europeans, the Arabs, and the indigenous Africans, they knew that a lot of these people weren't their people, so they didn't mind selling them off into slavery. My thing is that we have enough information now to say, hey, the Igbo are calling us their brothers. I don't think there's any African tribe on the continent that just openly said we are their people. I think they have said brothers, welcome back, brother. When you go to the continent, or hey, brother, how are you? But they never said you're Fulani, you are Mande. I never heard a Mande say you're Mende. But when I heard
Right.
the Igbos say you're Igbos, and then they explained why, they said the reason why they were targeted so bad was because they didn't have a king. They were
I
just
think the
they
I,
were a puppet. Was that?
I think the Jews that Joseph is talking about are the ones described in Revelations chapter 2 verse 9.
Right, right. And possibly,
Oh, them Jews.
possibly, to also add more clarity, to this, a lot of the time these Jews were coming to, or these quote unquote European Jews were coming to look for us. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't looking for them. You know, they the ones who literally did expeditions to the Niger River, going up and down the Niger River looking for Jews, going to different villages. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to the Igbos, they have a history that the white man came to them with, you know, the book of Genesis saying, "Is this your forefather? Is Erie your forefather?" So a lot of times these white Jews or these European Jews were looking for us, opposed to us looking for them. And even in the Talmud, the legend of the letters to the lost tribes, the Ashkenazi community writ to a letter to the lost tribes and said they were beyond the rivers of Nubia. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. And shalom, brother Neriyahu. Welcome back.
Shalom, Mark. I had a call I had to take. My bad, brothers.
No problem, brother.
Yeah, Neriyahu, I just wanted to say about your E1A. What you mentioned about that, I was saying that I think a lot of our Semitic brothers drafted in. I make the connection that Abraham was from must have had E1B1 because the majority of slaves or those who fit the curses uh, seem overwhelmingly represented with E1B1. But that's not to say that other Semitic or Hamitic uh, people weren't joined in, you know, to the nation of Israel, you know, carrying different paternal markers. Because I think, I think another thing we have to remember is that being a Hebrew is more so a family thing. Because Abraham said, "Let every," you know, God said, "Every male in your household, slave or free." And you know, Abraham had Egyptian and Canaanite slaves too.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, they had different paternal haplogroups probably, but they had to get circumcised. And I'm sure they had, you know, the opportunity to marry some Hebrew women
Right, right.
and make babies. And you know, and when they came out of Egypt, I'm sure there was a lot of different haplogroups among Israel. But because the majority will probably have E1B1, you'll see an overwhelming representation of that in the slave trade, you know, and the scattering. So those are my thoughts on the paternal haplogroups. I really don't hold on to the paternal haplogroups too much. I just kind of look at Deuteronomy 28 because there's people with different haplogroups that experience just as much persecution, you know, as we do, you know, with E1B1. So that's my thoughts.
And
Yeah,
I
I
want to
agree
add
with you. Yeah, I respect the mixed multitude.
Yes, yes, indeed. We got to scriptural, right? Scriptural. Um.
can, can I add something?
Oh yeah, go ahead, brother.
To me, I see being a Hebrew Israelite, I see this more of being more of a heritage and a family thing.
Agreed. Agreed.
Absolutely.
Like we've been hollering all our lives about we black and we proud, but we didn't know where that origin of blackness came from.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, we didn't. You know, we should have listened to our ancestors. We should have listened to our elders when we got out of slavery. We should have listened to the oral traditions they left us, but we didn't. Some did, and it stuck around for a while, but you know, eventually we have what we have today, and it breaking off into the different sects, like you know, the different gang sects, the different Black Panther sect, things like that. So yeah, we definitely should have listened to our ancestors because they definitely laid the foundations from what I see.
Hey, Will, I got a quick question.
All right, no problem. Go ahead.
I want to ask you, uh, like the it's going back to the Omanana Alliance. Is do you think Remy could I know you need to talk to him to get that information. But do you think you can ask him if we can organize something together so that even if it wasn't the cultural festival, maybe we can come out to him because he messaged me before saying all you need to do is go to any Igbo household in order to
Yeah,
take part. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I'm
like
like,
me in Nigeria. Yeah, I know how he talks, man. I know how he's the elder, but yeah, I know.
and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you're having a hard time convincing other Igbos that their culture is Israelite in origin. So I just can't go to anybody's household. But at the same time, because of our experiences here in in the Western world, people respect paperwork and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, so is there anything that could show that? I know that it might be kind of loose in like the Wild Wild West when it comes to our people. Like we can just say, hey, this is, you know, you're already my brother. You don't need paperwork, right? But in the West, we kind of need documentation because I remember contacting the chairman just to let him know, like, hey, I got the Jewish maternal haplogroup, I got the Jewish markers, and he told me, he said, can you trace your lineage back to Spain and Portugal? Do you have any documentation? uh, this is before he came out with the Igbos were Israelites.
Hmm.
And I told him, I was like, nah, I can't do that. They burnt down all the census in the 1800s. So a lot of us can't go back and get information like that. He said, well, you're going to have to go through a conversion. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, I'm not converting because yeah, I don't need to. You know
And
what I
then
mean?
when it comes to the legacy of the dispersed Sephardic Jews, a lot of these, uh, when especially when it's just like they're not looking at the right people, you know. Especially we go down to the islands and we look at the history. Uh, if you're looking for the Sephardic community, you should be looking at the black community, the black skin, inhabitants, as sources would say. Um, Especially what is his name? What is his name? What is his name? What is this name? What is his name? He wrote the book, history. I'm gonna have to look for it, but it's a quote where he says that, you know, every Jew that he saw within Jamaica was colored, was a Negro. He never expected to see a Jew with thick lips and black skin like Cujo. You get what I'm saying? And he was talking about the descendants of the Sephardic Jews in Jamaica. So yeah, that's real interesting.
It's not Columbus, is it?
No, 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 no. Uh,
I know who
J.A.
you.
Rogers,
I know
J.A.
he's
Rogers,
talking.
J.A.
Yeah,
Rogers. Yeah,
yeah, I know who he's talking about.
yeah, yeah, that's him.
And there's another guy who says that the Jews in Jamaica reproduced the Assyrian type.
Right, that's in the book, The Negro in the New World.
Yeah.
All right, come on. They also said that that the Jews look or that the Jamaican Negroes look, like Moors, look like Moorish Jews. They, things like that. So there's plenty of history, for this, and I just think they are they're purposely not going to the right populations when it comes to reviewing this history and study on these dispersed Sephardic Jews. Like, especially like in Africa, they haven't been to Senegal, they haven't been to Mali, they haven't been in Nigeria. They've only been to what Sao Tome and the other location they went to.
Cape Verde. Cape Verde.
Yes, Cape Verde. So yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
not to cut anybody off, but do you brothers realize that the Jamaicans have their religion called they call themselves Rastafarians? It's something like a Israelite religion.
Rastafari. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rastafarians. They believe that they are Israelites. and that came by way of the slaves. You know what I'm saying? The rosters, and
And
they
they call the Most High. They call him Jah instead of Yah.
right, exactly, and they even claim to pledge the Nazarite vows, which is why they don't cut their hair or shave their face. So that's real deep. Um,
brother.
yes, sir.
I think the most important thing about the Ominana tradition is it stretches beyond the Igbo. Like even
Hmm.
uh, Equiano mentions that other tribes share similar customs with the Igbo, you know. So it's like you can find Obeah, in Ghanaian um tribes and amongst the Ife system there's similar rituals and stuff like that. So us going back to, the Ominana system as West African Israelites, I don't think it wouldn't. I don't think it'd be far fetched from us going back to people like my ancestors, the Mende. You know what I'm saying, or someone else's lineage coming from the Abibio or something like that. It's like
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it stretched farther than the Igbo as well.
Yeah,
It,
'cause even I believe the cola nut tradition. I believe that goes back to like Abraham. Like some of the traditions that they even keep. These are traditions that were prior to Israelites and things like that, and even stuff within the scripture that's not even given a breakdown on how you do it. They know how to do it because they had that history passed down orally.
Right, right. I mean, even with the cola nut, like you can see that tradition in the Bissa.
Mm.
It's instead of the cola nut, they greet you with peanuts. So it's like some similarity there. Like because they cultivate peanuts, uh, you
Uh,
know, since they dispersed from the Mali Empire. So
mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
once again, something else similar to
Yeah,
the Igbo. We
yeah,
family, man. At the
yeah.
end of the day.
Like I
now,
said, man, this is just the Igbo. They just had more migrants. That's all I say. They had more waves, they had more migrants, opposed to the rest of the tribes.
at,
Yeah, shout
That's
out
what
to
I
the
believe.
Obadiah Alliance, man. We gotta get this Zephaniah Alliance started, man.
hey,
Yeah, I love that name too, bro. I love it. I love it.
I love that name too, man. Hey, can
Yeah.
you explain that Zephaniah to everyone who don't know about it?
Oh yeah. Give me one moment.
And
Um.
while you're looking that up, I want to say this about the Igbo. It's something there's something that really stood out when they said what Igbo means, and it's to your point that
mm,
you said that we're all kind of it's just all of us, right? So the Igbo it means Hebrew. That's what they say it means. They say the word Igbo means Hebrew.
Hmm.
So so you can't put a tribe on Hebrew because Hebrew
mm.
is a family. You know, I might live in
Exactly.
Tennessee. You might live in like Chicago, but we're still family. We're still blood. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
so even if the Limba or the Beta Israel or the Mbundu in Angola, you know, that's something. And here's something else that people don't know. I could tell there was a scoffer. There was an Igbo scoffer, right? He said, this is what he said. He said that Igbo He said, I don't know why there's some Ebos going around saying that Ebo means Hebrew. He said Ebo is was it Ndigbo?
Indie, indie, indie Igbo. They like that. They love saying that. They love saying that word.
But what he don't realize is that he's proven their point even more because it means what
Right?
people and all or
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah, you know what I
So
mean?
I think like Indi, like you were saying, it means like people, and of course Igbo, we know what that means. So it's literally like you said, it's defeating his point because it's telling us that that means what the Hebrew people, something like that, that it'll be transliterated to, right?
Yeah, that's what it's saying. All the people, everyone, all people.
Hmm.
So even then, that has a Pan African root to it. All people. So even if, maybe that's probably why the Most High is using the Igbo in this time period, because maybe they're the only ones without kings, and they're the ones that can, better, allow all of our people scattered to graft themselves in.
Right.
I don't know. It's just thought.
That's beautiful.
Oh, Neriyahu dropped off.
Yeah, I believe the brother is having phone connections right now, or just connection problems. Period.
Yeah, I just love his idea about Zephaniah Alliance because,
Yes, that
I
brother,
mean,
he's very knowledgeable, man. I talk to him a lot, man. He's very knowledgeable. He definitely knows what he's talking about. He's well studied.
yeah, I want to see if I can, get together on Remy with, the Eze. And, with this permission, just, if I have to be the first one, then I do it because I respect culture. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I
Right.
respect the process. So, if the Obadiah, if the Most High allowed the Obadiah Alliance to recognize the Igbo, and the Igbo have their traditions on how to do things, then maybe I can be one of the first ones to show that, hey, look, I'm gonna take part of this ceremony, become part of the Igbo people, not to slight any other group on the continent, but just to show that, hey, we're coming together.
Right.
Anybody can
Like
come together.
guess what's a good word that you can use? Because that does sound good. That does sound like something that does need to be introduced a way for diasporic Africans or African Americans and Igbos can connect, be a whole ceremony where you go through, this whole, guess you can say ritual ceremony. You get a new name, a new certificate, you get an Igbo garment, this and that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it can be acknowledged by the Obadiah Alliance. They say, hey, we back it, and that's a legal statement. But and at the same time, it shows the rest of the continent how we can come together, the diaspora and Africans, how we can come together and how we respect their culture and how they reach back out to us and make us feel wanted.
Definitely, definitely. All right, all right. So let's see. Family, if anyone, oh, the brother Neri Yahoo is back up. Add him back up.
Oh, brother Will,
What's up, brother?
have you done any research on the Songhai Empire of Africa?
I haven't done any individual research on that empire, like by itself, because it's really tricky, especially the people that was in there. But I know a little bit of it. I know a little bit of the history of it.
I think the book of Babylon from Timbuktu covered that they may be descendants of Israel.
Right. He did mention that, but like I say, it was a lot of people in that empire, and I'm sure the brother Neri Yahoo could probably speak on it as well, probably. But you had Mende groups in the Songhai Empire. You had literal Moors in the Songhai Empire. You had later Sephardic Jews. You had Berbers, and even I don't even I believe the Berber group is the Songhai people. Like you literally have a people called Songhai that was in Songhai. You know what I'm saying? So it'll just have to be a deep breakdown that I have to get into to get into that. But I did read that in Babylon and Timbuktu.
Right.
Yeah, it was said that there was migrants from Yemen as well, from the Yemen Yemenite Jewish community. So I mean, that just goes to show we've been linking up from West Africa to Arabia, you know, sending out olive branches for a long time. Showing love to each other, even back in the Ghana, during the Ghana Empire. There
Yeah,
was many of uh, migrants from different parts of the world that were from the House of Judah, the House of Israel. You know,
facts, and just to piggyback off what he just said, man, you literally had, Israelites traveling the Silk Road coming into Ghana, you know, into West Africa, Ghana from Asia and things like that. You had Karaite Jews. You had, it's even said that the Akan was getting a kente cloth from I guess you can say the Silk Road area
they
from the
was trading that. They was trading that cloth on the Silk Road.
right, and that's very very interesting as well. That's very very interesting.
That kente cloth is beautiful.
Yes, it
Right,
is.
right, it is.
I wear a hat.
Yeah, I just hope this come Juneteenth they don't do too much disrespectful stuff with that kente cloth. Cause sometimes I'll be like, oh no, I can't believe they did it. Ice cream containers with the
Right.
kente cloth, like like it's crazy. You know,
Kente cloth ashtrays, like come on now.
You even had politicians wearing it when George Floyd was murdered.
Yeah, man, that's how they do the black community. You try to butter us up so we can vote for them and keep getting effed over every year. Or every
Yeah.
election year, new president. This is
Now,
crazy. It's crazy.
now I had to be honest with this. Now Trump wasn't good, but Biden definitely ain't good.
No, he not. I ain't even gonna get into that information. I ain't even gonna get into it on here, but I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you.
And then, y'all, did you ever find that Zephaniah?
I was actually reading and I dropped off. I
No.
was reading and everything. Yeah. Hey, brother, Will, do you have the Safaria?
Yes, sir. I'll bring it up real quick.
Okay.
A second. Yeah, man. I'm just now using. Or I guess you can say I'm new to Safari. I got it a few months ago. Love it on my phone, man.
Beautiful app, man.
Definitely. Only thing they need to do is add a highlight option.
Yeah, for people like us.
Right, it'll be over with. All right,
Yeah.
so here we go right here.
I have a controversial question about Esau.
Con.
There's a group of Fulani. Uh, I want to get you all's opinion on it. There's a group of Fulani who say they that are descendants of Esau. They come from the Terudabe tribe. Are you all familiar with that?
No, they probably descendants by bloodline.
Yeah, they said that it's Turudbe, Fulani, and they say they descend from Reuel, who's the son of Esau.
No, I've never heard of that.
I've heard of it. A few months back, I had some information on it, but I didn't dig too much into it. I did see information on that. I might still have it somewhere in my notes, but I do have information on them trying to link the Fulani to Edomites and also the Hyksos.
Right, the super kings, right?
So do y'all see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
So that's the Zephaniah 3:10 verse. It states, from beyond the rivers of Cush, my suppliants shall bring offerings to me in fair Buzia. That's actually my first time reading this on Safari. I got to find out what that means. But if anyone has any more questions within the chat, please feel free to go ahead, and drop them within. If any of you brothers up here got any, anything else to ask or any final words, please feel free to, chime in and do your thing.
I just want to say I appreciate you having us up here, letting us chop it up with you. Yeah, I would like. I'll go ahead and whenever you get a chance, I'd like to get in contact with you and Rennie and see if we can get that Zephaniah Alliance thing going.
Yeah, just shoot me an email. It should be in the comment thing. If you can't find it, it's just son of Yah4 at Gmail. Just son of Yah4 at Gmail.
Yeah, Torah. Yeah, we appreciate what you do in the community, man.
Oh, I will do, brother. I will do. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you all joining, chilling with me today on Shabbat, man. Kicking it. I really appreciate it.
That's
No problem.
might happen, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that Zephaniah verse real deep, especially when you look at, the timeline of Zephaniah and what was going on then, and it get real deep.
Right, right.
Definitely. So, like I said, man, we will continue to bring out this information. Next week I will be live. I will be live next Shabbat again. We will be doing a lesson or a lecture. As of now, I am working on a documentary. Later on tonight, I will begin to, continue to get edits done, record here and there, get everything ready. So just continue to be patient for that. It will be out as soon as I get done with it. And again, man, I thank you all for tuning in. And of course, any last comments from the brothers up here before we get ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, just subscribe and share the live.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Isaiah or Brother Second Exodus, you all would like to say anything else before I wrap it up?
No, brother, I would just want to say much love to you. Continue to bring out this research and bring the documentary out.
Y'all willing, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love, brother. Brother Second Exodus, would you like to say anything else?
Just keep up the good work, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right, brother. I appreciate you all for tuning in and interacting with me today. And again, man, my email is sonofyah4 for anyone who would like to reach out to me. Again, sonofyah4. And again, I thank you all for tuning in today, and we're going to get ready to wrap it up. And of course, I will see you all again next Shabbat. All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.